I still there? Okay, I'm still here. I think I'm still here. Yeah, okay, cool. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to another edition of SIC Maui Talk Stories with Seychelle. I don't see any viewers yet, so I'm just gonna keep blabbing. But I know that this part is being recorded and will be part of the replay. So yeah, come on Facebook, you can do it. I believe in you. So this morning, just getting over full moon feels. We want to talk about nutrition. I want to talk about fueling your workouts. I want to talk about fueling your body. I want to talk about fueling your life. I want to talk about fueling for athletes. I want to talk about some really practical, like no nonsense approaches to like how we should approach our nutrition in general. So yeah, one of my biggest missions in life, one of my biggest mission statements is like take responsibility for your health. And whether that's take responsibility for yourself, take responsibility for your choices, take responsibility for your life, we actually have that power. And nutrition is one of the biggest choices that we make all day, every day. That's actually like a really great starting point for actually being more in a position of consciously creating the life you want to live, being the person you want to be, feeling the vibrance, the energy, the health, the performance that you want to feel, right? So all of the choices that we make all day, every day add up to how our life unfolds, and nutrition is just one of those, just such a great starting point for actually being conscious of your choices and how they are affecting you and how they are contributing to your life and your future and how you feel and your health and your energy, your vibrance, your performance. And I know that's what you guys are on here to hear about today. So nutrition, not only does it affect our energy, our performance, it affects our recovery, it affects our sleep, it affects our hormones, it affects our emotions. It's a huge part of why and who and how we are and how we feel, and of course whole body health. And it's the most integral, if not the most, it's one of the most integral parts of our self-care, and especially as an athlete. So I want to talk today about food as fuel, of course, but I can't not talk about all these other aspects as well. So food is not just fuel, like it is medicine. And to say anything else is simply biologically and physiologically wrong. So food is that important to ourselves, to our health, to our bodies. So we're all athletes here, and so let's talk about a little bit more like sports nutrition. Raise of hands, an energetic raise of hands, since I can't see you. If you've done any calorie counting, macro counting, nutrient timing, if you followed a nutrition plan, if you know what those words are, or maybe just put an emoji in the comments box, because I'm good, but I'm not that good at reading energy. So fueling is all about nutrients. And if you don't know what any of those things are, macronutrients, micronutrients, macro counting, I'm actually not a huge fan of calorie counting, macro counting, or following a nutrition plan. So you don't have to know what those things are, because it's simpler than that. It can be simpler than that. And you can have proper nutrition without doing any sort of counting. And so I want to give you some simple tools for that. And it's all about nutrients. And the way that I coach nutrition, it's all about knowing yourself, listening to yourself, and learning what you need, because every single person in all of our lives and all of our demands on our bodies are different. All of our support systems and environments and where we live and what's available to us is different. So, of course, nutrition is going to be different for each and every person. And the numbers, I don't even deal with numbers, really. Very little. You can, but you don't have to. So it's all about nutrients. All right, so let's talk a little bit about nutrients. Macronutrients are the big guys. I'm getting a notification from Facebook that something's not going well. So if something's not going well, let me know, folks. Say it in the comments that you can't hear me, so I'm not just blabbing to nobody. Okay, so macronutrients are the big guys. Macronutrients are proteins, carbohydrates, fats for the most part, right? You probably heard those terms. And then micronutrients are the little guys. So those are the vitamins, the minerals, enzymes, pre and probiotics that are in our food. And we need ample amounts of both macro and micronutrients. We need ample amounts of nutrients. It's all about nutrients. So the main issue is that in our modern times, many of the foods we eat on a regular basis are either grown, produced, or processed in a way that strips them of nutrients. So it maybe at one point, it used to be as simple as just eating a variety of foods that you enjoy. But it is a little bit more, it takes a little bit more than just that. To make sure that you're getting enough nutrients, but it doesn't have to be complex. Like, it can still be simple. And so that's where things like supplements can help, and I'm going to talk about that more in a few minutes. But most people, and especially athletes, actually do not get enough. Do not get enough nutrients. And so that's either like just in general not eating enough, because we have this like deep conditioning in this society, this fear-based society, that if I eat more, more food equals more weight, and we have this like fear of fat and weight, and so a lot of us just in general don't eat enough. That totally used to be me. And then there's and that's simply just not true. Like, more food does not equal more weight. It's just not true. It's just not true. So, or like we don't eat enough because we're too busy rushing around. Like, we're really busy, and we don't eat before or after we train, and we definitely don't stop and have a proper meal during the day because we're too busy working, and so we're skipping meals, especially before and after a workout, and that is contributing to not getting enough. And then don't even get me started on skipping meals because we're intermittent fasting. If I have time at the end, somebody put it in the comments that you do want to hear my spiel about intermittent fasting, and I'll give you the cliff notes on it, if there's time at the end. So maybe we get enough calories, but they're from empty sources like sugar, vegetable oils, processed foods, meaning like you're eating enough, you're getting full, and maybe you even have excess weight, or not, but you're not getting enough nutrients. So you're not getting enough of the right macros, proteins, carbs, and fats in ample amounts, and especially you're probably not getting enough micronutrients, your vitamins, minerals, all those little guys. And so your body needs the micronutrients especially to function, to produce energy, to repair muscles, to build tissues, like just to do everything. All of the hundreds of thousands of chemical and electrical reactions that are happening in your body every moment of every day takes micronutrients to perform. So when you don't get enough, your body does not perform optimally, and your performance sees the results of that, right? So it has more to do with what you're eating, the quality of what you're eating, than it does the amount. Right? So when I say enough, I mean actually eating enough food, and two, I mean getting enough nutrients. Um, and it's really hard when you're eating the right foods. It's almost impossible. Like, let me ask you this. Like, when's the last time you ate too many vegetables? Right? Like, it doesn't happen. Okay, so we naturally stop ourselves. We have natural hunger and fullness cues that kick in when we eat real food. So the issue that we have nowadays is processed foods, chemically crafted and altered foods that have flavorings in them, additives in them. They're actually made, they're actually designed, they're actually crafted, created so that you cannot stop eating, so that you will keep eating more, so you get that flavor in your mouth and you want more, right? So we have a lot of things stacked against us. We have a whole lifetime, actually generations and generations of conditioning about, you know, weight and fat and calories and all this nonsense. And then we have the food companies just wanting us to get more and more and more, but those aren't nutrients. So, fun fact, protein keeps you satisfied longer. So, just a quick tip to add in here. If you have protein with every meal and every snack, you're gonna stay full longer, right? So I don't mean like I don't mean like beef jerky, like, okay, I'm on the go, I'm on my way to work, like I just got off the water and I need to eat protein because Seychelles says I need to, and so I stop at the Quick Mart and like grab something. No. It takes a little bit of preparation, especially if you're working, especially if you're on the go, if you're an athlete, if you're a parent, you're a business owner, you're a partner, whatever you are. Like, I get it. We're busy, and one of the things that I experience the most with my clients is like just rushing either to workout or after workout or during work and not taking time to eat. So, we need to learn to do a little bit of prep work. Then we have food with us to eat after we train, for lunches, things like that. So it's not difficult, but it does take a bit of knowing and prepping for that. So here's the bad guys. Just throw this in there. If I was gonna say, if there was any like bad, right? It would be sugar. It would be vegetable oils. And vegetable oils, I mean, canola, sunflower, safflower, like basically all the ones that are in processed foods. Really, the only good oils are like olive oil and coconut oil, extra virgin. Alcohol, and yeah, those highly processed foods. So when they have chemical flavors, additives, preservatives, anything that's not actually food, what that does, how that affects you not getting enough, even if you're like, I'm eating plenty, but if it's food that has all of these things in it, what happens is your body goes, that's not food. I need to get rid of that. I need to detox that. And so it gets like, in a way, I'm just trying to make sense here, like distracted from actually absorbing and digesting the actual nutrients in your food when there's all these ingredients in your food that aren't real food that your body has to sift through and take out and process through your body. Your body, even if there is nutrients in your food, you're not able to absorb, digest, and utilize those nutrients properly. So again, the quality of your food matters so much. Okay, so this is a bit of a ramble, but it's really, really important stuff. So if you're keen on learning like so much more about all of these things, I'm just going to throw it out there now. I'll throw it out there at the end as well. I'm doing a 12-week nutrition coaching program that starts next week, where we will actually have 12 weeks together instead of 25 minutes to talk all about nutrition and learn all about nutrients, macronutrients, micronutrients, and how I can actually start implementing like some of these simple steps that I'm telling you, and how to actually start implementing some of the food prep and what is enough, right? What is enough? You're saying I'm not getting enough, but what is enough? So if you want to dive more deeply into all of that with me, I have a group starting next week, and it would be awesome if you want to learn more, because I'm super, super passionate about all this. So with everything I've just talked about in mind, some practical tips for athletes, okay? For fueling properly. Eating before and after you work out. A lot of us will eat before or we'll eat after, and very few of us are doing both, and some of us aren't doing either. Or again, we're not choosing the right things to fuel with, so I'll talk about that in a moment. But it's like the best time to eat. Food is fuel. And so the best time to eat is before and after your workout. If you've heard the term nutrient timing, this is like the simplest form of nutrient timing. Time your nutrients around when you need the energy. like, your body is like a sponge for nutrients after you work out. It's like, I need all of this right now. That's when it's going to utilize it the most. So, if you can eat something with carbs and a little protein right before you train, like, for example, fruits and nut butter or oats, great. If you want a lot more examples, do the nutrition program. So, like, I know some people are super sensitive. You're like, I can't eat before I work out. So you have a couple of options. You could get up earlier and eat a little bit earlier and give yourself a little bit of time to digest and then do your workout. And then with that extra time in the morning, you could also start doing things like a little bit more prep or meditation or journaling, or like, it's like a whole waterfall cascade of benefits to getting up a little bit earlier in the morning, and how you can start implementing things that would help your nutrition and your overall health and your overall performance. Because all of those things do matter. But you could also, if you're sensitive and you don't want to eat before you work out, you can use supplements. So you could use carbohydrates or essential amino acid supplementation for before or during your train, and that would be in powdered form, so it wouldn't affect your digestion as much as having like solid food in there. So a couple of tips for eating before you work out and after you train. Like, immediately after, like within 60 minutes. And yes, there's, I don't know if I follow a lot of sports nutrition. It's like, does it really matter that I eat it that close after? And it's like, you could get away with not eating it that close after, but it is super beneficial, like the closer to your workout, because again, that's when your body is depleted, and that's when your body is most rapidly absorbing those nutrients. So it totally helps. It's totally worth it. And you can make it happen with a little bit of preparation, having some food ready to go after you train. So you want protein and carbohydrates again. And so these can be from a number of sources, like whatever your favorite ones are, as long as they're good quality and they're real food. Or it can be supplementation, like a protein smoothie with fruit. So if you don't even know like what the options of proteins are and carbs are, like, I can teach you all about it in my nutrition group that starts next week. And also all about fats too. We talk all about these things and what are good choices and not as good choices, and the choices you want to just stop making. We talk about all of those things a lot. So your post-workout meal, it starts your recovery. So that starts happening immediately. It starts your body with energy production, so you start getting your energy back immediately. And it's going to help prevent those mid-afternoon crashes. So that goes for eating enough throughout the day in general. So, one common challenge that people have is like this mid-afternoon crash, right? And very often that's because we didn't fuel properly in the morning. And so getting enough early in the day can help us immensely later in the day, and the body's trying to catch up from what it's lacking. So usually this is a very common question that I get, is like my go-to post-workout meal is that protein smoothie. So I do use a protein supplement with fruits, and I put some fats in there too. So I'm just a fan of having a smoothie because it's really easy to do on the go. It's really easy to have ready to go, to take with me before I even leave the house and have, in a little cooler box in the car. So another thing to mention is this post-workout meal, and really even your pre-workout meal, like I don't even consider it a meal replacement. I consider it a meal addition. I consider it fuel for my body, for my workout, for my performance, for my recovery. No, I still eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, and you still need proteins, carbohydrates, and fats at each of those meals and or snacks. So, tip 1, let's just recap a little bit here. Eating before and after training is going to help you get in enough nutrients. That's when your body is going to absorb the nutrients most readily, rapidly, and happily. So tip 2, eat more early in the day. Our food is our fuel, right? So like, why is dinner the biggest meal? And then what do we do after dinner? Like, we sit on the couch and we go to bed. Why do we fuel ourselves when we need the least amount of energy? Like, that doesn't make any sense. We need to eat our food, which is our fuel, when we need the energy, which is throughout the day, not at the end of the day. Okay? So breakfast and lunch are more important than dinner. Your metabolism is higher throughout the day, especially in the middle of the day. You need the energy then, you use the energy then, and you're not just like going to bed when all really being like super full and going to bed does is that it's actually gonna decrease your body's ability to sleep soundly and deeply, and do the repairing and restoring that it needs to do when it's sleeping because it's too busy digesting, right? So, yeah. And then there's dessert that we have often after dinner, right? Which is also hindering our ability to get good quality sleep. So, why do we eat dessert? Well, usually because it's a habit and we're literally addicted to sugar. And so we need to kick that habit. This is not everyone, one size fits all, but this is most of us. So, one of the best ways to kick a sugar habit and stop eating dessert, besides just like, willpower and support and accountability and somebody who's helping you through that, is to eat enough throughout the day so that you have the energy. Because another reason why we reach for things later on is the body's like, wait, I didn't get enough. And now I'm going to make bad choices about what I need, what I want. So if you give it enough earlier in the day, it's less likely to have those cravings later on. And it's a process, and it's a slow process. None of this is a quick fix. But yeah. So, I hope this is all making sense. Tip 3, to help making getting enough nutrients simpler and easier are a couple that I've already mentioned is good quality supplements. So on the go protein smoothies, green smoothies, because greens, protein's like one of the most important macronutrients that most of us are not getting enough of. Greens pack a super dose of micronutrients, prebiotics, enzymes that our body is often not getting enough of when we're not eating good quality foods, or really just even when we are eating a lot of vegetables and getting healthy carbs and enough protein. Like, it's still sometimes difficult to get enough micronutrients because of the way that our food is grown and prepared these days. So I'm a fan of just a couple of good quality supplements to make sure that you're getting enough, and because it makes it easier. You don't have to try as hard to get it all in every single day. And I use, because this is normally another question that I get after I make that statement, I have a brand that I have been using for years that I believe in fully in their products, and that's The Good Inside. And I do have coupons, so if you're interested, reach out, ask me your questions. I can send you a coupon if you're interested in trying some of their products from The Good Inside. And so, something as simple as just feeling off, low energy, not recovering, not sleeping well, like, there are so many things it can be, and you can start with these really simple steps that I've been talking about, like make sure that you're getting enough nutrients, get the majority of your calories in earlier in the day. You got to do a little prep work to make that happen. But if something's like really off, well, then go see a functional medicine or holistic doctor and get blood work done, because when you get a full panel of blood work done, they are going to be able to tell you exactly if and what you have a deficiency in, what you're not getting enough of, and you can then take steps to make sure that you correct that. So, yeah, that is about all I have for today. Comments, questions? Somebody write something so they know that I was not just speaking for 30 minutes to no one. And yeah, let me know what you want to hear more about. I will be checking comments for people that did not watch this live. I do, for the next couple days, go through and try and keep an eye on the comments. But you can always reach out to me on Instagram at SeychellesSup, on Facebook at SeychellesSup, and I will link in the comments as well the nutrition program that starts next week, where you will learn about all of this and so much more about the mindset aspect of it as well, which is really, really integral. And then yeah, I'll link The Good Inside as well. So thank you so much for those of you that are tuning in, those of you that are watching this from wherever, from whenever you're watching it. I hope this was helpful with just those few simple tips. And thank you to SIC Maui for having us on today, for giving us this platform to be able to share with you all. And yeah, let us know what you want to hear more about. Let me know what questions you have about nutrition or just about paddling in general. You can let me know, you can let SIC know, and we will keep these coming for you. And yeah, thanks for being a part of this community. Thanks to SIC, and I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day.